See, before we had All-Star Battle and all these challenge shows, we had another little show of rejected of love personalities looking for something a little bit better than love, money. And these reality stars was gonna do whatever it took to get that money. Didn't care if they had to lie, argue, cheat, steal, backstab, go against their alliance. With $250,000 on the line, baby, the claws came out. However, all it took was one tragedy to change the history of VH1 and reality TV forever. So join me as we take a trip down memory lane and we talk about I Love Money, and we talk about secret scandals in the season that never aired and changed reality TV forever. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, The Unpopular Party, hosted by me, Party Next Short. And today we are going to be talking about I Love Money. I don't know if you remember this. As a child, this was my all-star battle. It was such a unique approach. We're going to take all these people from these of love shows and compete for something a little greater than love. Some money, 100,000. 100,000. Although it was a cute concept, it did have some scandals, it had some secrets, and we're going to just break it down. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys send my way. Become a party goer. And without further ado, let's just jump straight into this breakdown. So if you're a youngin', you probably not gonna know what I'm talking about. But for my OG reality people out there, you know what I Love Money is, because it's a show that aired on VH1. It was like VH1 peak reality show. And it was a show where they were gonna bring together all these reality stars from some of your favorite shows like Flavor of Love, I Love New York, Real Chance of Love, also Rock of Love as well, Daisy of Love, Megan Wants a Millionaire. Put a pin in Megan Wants a Millionaire. But they would come together in this game show style show, and it was filmed over in Mexico, and the winner would get $250,000. And it was something so innovative and different and new. People was excited for this. So much so when season 1 premiered, it had a premiere of 2.2 million viewers. That's a lot of people. The cast included from the Rock of Love universe, Megan, Brandy C, Rodeo, Destiny, and Heather. From the Flavor of Love universe, we had Nibbles, Pumpkin, Hoops, and Toasty. From the I Love New York world, we had 12-Pack, Real, Mr. Boston, White Boy, The Entertainer, Chance. My youngins, yes, this is Chance from One More Chance. That's why when we be like, Chance, we've been watching you since elementary school. We be for real. Chance been on our screens for a good minute. He and M. Mac, I'ma censor his name because nowadays you don't say that. Season 1 was just so entertaining. From the first aspect, you know, they had different teams. You had the gold team and you had the green team. How they decided how they was gonna pick team, they had captain. Whoever won that captain challenge will be in charge of the team. So I believe Hoops was captain of the gold team and White Boy was captain of the green team. They would pick their competitors in like a dodgeball style until they picked their team. Now it was an odd man out, meaning whoever was left out would go home. And that's when M. Mac was eliminated because he was the first person to go on. He wasn't on the team. His elimination also comes from the fact that earlier in the day they had this challenge where they had to get into this money machine and collect as much money as possible. The catch was they had to put on this bikini Speedo set, and such as Mr. Mac and a lot of the other guys, they didn't want to put that set on. But he felt like some of the girls in them was trying to size him up, so he started going off on a lot of the girls, and yeah, it was a mess.
Well, I got to degrade myself, put panties on. So y'all trying to size me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got it. But you always trying to size me. It's showing. It's curious. And it's showing.
I got more money than you and your
I'm gonna let you think that. Oh my Lord. I will tear you apart.
But how the series would go, they would have team challenges. And whatever team won, they would be safe. And the captain of that team will be in charge of sending somebody home. And let me also clarify that the captain will be different. So, you know, it started off with White Boy and Hoops, but on each day they will pick like, okay, who's gonna be the team captain for the day? Like, so it may have started off as Hoops, but let's say today's challenge, the captain is Megan, or today's challenge, the captain is Destiny. It will all just be, it always was different on the different challenge days. Now, whoever lost, they would have to go into the vault. In the vault, they had 15 minutes to go through and decide which chick was gonna go into like the little bank thingy. If they couldn't decide within them 15 minutes, the captain from the winning team would come and decide who they want to put up for elimination. Once selected, all 4 of them were going like a little power outing where they would plead their case, and then the captain could decide if they want to have a one-on-one with somebody. And it all led up to that evening, an elimination. Whoever the captain decided checked the void, that would be the person to go home.
Stop eating bounty.
and it was a very interesting, nasty game. And it had a whole bunch of different dynamics. Megan, who was the girl who wore a bikini every day, she was really one of the ones running the game. And she may have been the one that everybody disliked, but she always had a way of convincing people of doing what they wanted her to do. She also formed the 4-girl alliance with Megan, Brandy C, Pumpkin, and Toasty, and they all kind of had a hand in who was going home.
I feel like I have no chance against Stallionaires, so I came up with this great plan. Stay in this game. The 4 of us all be our alliance. So Pumpkin's cool with that? Ooh, a secret 4-woman alliance. Sounds kind of kinky. Although it seems like it's going to be impossible to convince Entertainer to get rid of Heather, it's really our only hope.
I don't want you to cry. Unfortunately, Heather.
I had a great time. I really had it, but it's time for me to go.
I did it again. I convinced people that had no idea what they wanted to do into doing what I want them to do.
So much so, she convinced Pumpkin to get rid of Chance. And that Stallionaire alliance of Real, Chance, and White Boy, that was a strong alliance. Pumpkin, it was a risky move. Everybody hated Pumpkin.
The Stallionaires are starting an alliance with Pumpkin and Toasty. We need them to protect ourselves as well as they need us.
Me and you and Brandy and Toasty, we can take control of everything. Megan is very manipulative, but that means you got Reagan a chance today. But this is the best move for me to make. Let's do it. Goodbye, Chance. What? I eliminated a Stallionaire.
Get this broad up out of here. I don't like no deceiver, man.
Does she understand what just happened?
Pumpkin, you the #1 target.
It's home. They gonna take you out.
Now, their alliance did not last, but when they fell out, they gave us one of the most entertaining food fights in reality history. Because here's the thing. I know you new reality girlies, you know, on TV, you cannot fight. If you fought, you got sent home. I know that's not a thing on reality TV, but that was a thing back in the day. So to avoid hitting each other, they just had a food fight. It was so funny.
So much. I can't believe I was ever in any sort of alliance or friendship with either of them. I hate them. I hate them. Hit me then. Come hit me. You wanna hit me? Hit me. Hit me, bitch. Hit me. I'm in the stairwell and Pumpkin's being a psycho crazy girl yelling at me 2 inches away from my face as I laugh at her. Just put yourself in the box. We're gonna do vote first. But no, he just puts himself. Is that Brandy? Is that Brandy? So out of nowhere, I hear really loud screaming in the house, and it's Brandy's voice, so I have to go and help her. By flashing your and laughing and playing the Jessica Simpson type, we all see through it, bitch. Me and Brandy are very protective of each other, and if you mess with one of us, you mess with both of us. Hit me! Hit me! Pumpkin is crazy. She's scary. She's like possessed. Just because you're taller don't mean you're a bigger person. It's obvious you're a bigger person. I know interested. You're drinking everything. I want to hit them so bad, but I know if I hit one of these girls, I'm going to be forced to leave the house, and I don't want to give them satisfaction. You hit me! The fight basically turns into a big-ass food fight. There's drinks being poured all over the place. I'm not really getting into the fight, but then I realized that Megan's fighting this fight alone, and that's not cool. So I go and I grab some milk. Poor, disgusting.
And then from the hookups that was happening, Destiny saga with he and the Entertainer wanted Destiny.
He's so cute, and he's really sweet. We'll see what happens. You're making me blush.
Steve and Destiny have a little thing going right now. Hopefully he'll be good to her. If he's not, I'm coming for Destiny.
Hoops got proposed to by Real. Oh, Real, rest in peace, man. It was such a good calculated season. And it was like it told the perfect story because Hoops, who won season 1 of Flavor of Love, she ended up winning season 1 of I Love Money too. But it was always a rumor that White Boy was supposed to win season 1 of I Love Money and he was gonna get this spinoff show and like he was like the front runner. Hoops talked about that actually on the No Filter podcast with Zach Peters, but yeah.
Already have like your shows ready to go. So like, is it true that anybody could just win? And he's like, yeah, anybody can, but we kind of have it kind of set up for, you know, White Boy to win. And I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going on and lose. Like, I'm gonna do the best I can. Like, I'm competitive. If I know, he's like, just come on there. Like, you're one of the world's favorites. You're a fan favorite. Like, just come on. And
Why
like,
White Boy?
You know, because they were gonna do a spin-off show from that, and they needed like a they call it like a seated show. So like we have this show, and then you know people get their spin-off shows, and so once he won, well then it'd be like in the life of, you know, White Boy. He just won this money, blah 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 blah, and they were gonna go back to Miami and do this whole other show. So, you know.
Everything worked out how it should. So much so it was a no-brainer. VH1 was definitely bringing this back for a season 2.
I'm gonna put this lipstick on him, and he's gonna kiss my ass.
Season 2, like I like season 1 because of the nostalgia, but season 2 was one of my favorites because it was so much drama.
You're supposed to be my friend. Just don't ever do it. We told you not to do it, and you're doing it. That's just betrayal, right? All you do is run your mouth trying to get and
Now this time it's the same dynamic, but it's incorporating some people from Real Chance of Love. But it was only like 2 people from Rock of Love on this one, just Frenchie and Tamara. But the Flavor of Love girls, you got Smiley, also known as Layleen, because she had just completed Charm School at this point. Buck Wild, Sapphire. My bad, y'all, it's Safari, and I knew it was Safari too. I said that all the way wrong. I blame baddies. Prancer and Miami. Also Ice from season 3. From the Real Chance of Love world, we got Callie and Milf. Ooh, I don't know if I can say that word, but her. And then from I Love New York, we had Taylor May, It, 20 Pack, Bones, Buddha, T-Weed, and Aunt. The Entertainer and Heat from season 1, they will also be on season 2 as well. So season 2, very interesting dynamic. There was always something going on, from Smiley having her little breakdown, from people self-sabotaging from teams. It was also the season when they had to re-pick teams, and that's how Buddha ended up getting sent home because they didn't like Buddha. One of my favorite moments from season 2 was their vault ceremony. I quote that to this day because we gotta come up with something really quick. That was when Sapphire and Buck Wild was in that room in the vault. Their goal was, they was trying to let time go down so 20 Pack, I believe he was the captain, so he could come in, pick the people to go in their box, because they knew if we go in this box, it's a wrap. So they arguing, they throwing water on Miami. Sapphire and fainted.
My ass and Becky ass is going in the box, so we gotta come up with something really quick.
I told y'all she's fucking sick. You need to take her to the medic. I'm not a fucking doctor. I gave her fucking medication. I don't know what the fuck else to do. She gave me her medication. Did they keep the clock 30 seconds. They kept the clock. They shut it off as soon as you come out. Pass the fuck out. Don't get up. No, you can't give her no needles. No, she
They did all that stuff, and not none count for the 15 minutes. So they was like, well, shit. It was a good season. Miami from Flavor of Love ended up winning. So the Flavor of Love girls is 2 for 2. Now, as you can see, I'm talking about like how successful this show is. As you can see, like the views was there. It's getting like 2 million views, like a premiere. So you would think it will be brought back for a 3rd season, and it was. The 3rd season of I Love Money did indeed happen, and the cast was selected. It was filmed, and this time it will feature people from, of course, Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, I Love New York, Real Chance of Love. But now we're seeing the inclusion of people from For the Love of Ray J, Daisy of Love, and Megan Wants a Millionaire. Let's take that pen out of Megan Wants a Millionaire. Megan Wants a Millionaire was a spinoff for Megan, who was a contestant on I Love Money, and she was a contestant on Rock of Love, but she was having a dating show and she wanted to find her a millionaire.
People always come up to me and say, you know, it was wrong that you requested that the contestants on your dating show be millionaires. And it was wrong. It was like a huge mistake. I should have had them all be billionaires.
But that show also got abruptly canceled. Why did these shows get canceled? Well, this is the unfortunate part, and this is where we get into some sensitive details about the show. The show was supposed to air in January of 2010, but in August of 2009, VH1 decided they had to cancel anything that involved any showing of one of the contestants, Ryan Jenkins. Ryan Jenkins was a contestant that was on Megan Multimillionaire.
I typically date girls that turn a lot of heads. I love the chase. Ryan gave me his phone number. Weeks and a couple times talking to him, I basically had told him that I was planning on picking him. But we had a charity auction and he wouldn't bid. And I was like, what is wrong with him? He's not gonna win this. When it was down to the last 3 I wanted to pick Ryan, they immediately told me that I was not picking Ryan. And it was because he didn't have the money. At the elimination, I was crying and I told him he was eliminated. So I just thought that I would just call him in like 3 days and explain to him the situation.
And he was also a part of I Love Money. What makes his role on I Love Money 3 so important, he won that season. Before I get into the mess, let's talk about the cast that would have been on there. Was Delicious and Bucky from Flavor of Love, Lacey and Marcia from Rock of Love, Bubbles and Lil Hood from Real Chance of Love, Cashmere and Cocktail from For the Love of Money, Wolf and Pretty from I Love New York, Fox, Sinister, Weasel, Big Rig, and Professor from Daisy of Love, and Joe Oh, and Ryan from Megan Wants a Millionaire. And like I stated, Ryan Jenkins was a contestant on I Love Money 3 and Megan Wants a Millionaire, but unfortunately VH1 had to distance all showings of him because he was involved of an unaliving of his partner and an unaliving of himself. Now we have to jump on the topic of something a little bit more deeper, which is the unaliving of Jasmine Fiore. I think that's how I'm pronouncing her last name. Jasmine was a model from California, and she was a swimsuit model. She worked as a body paint model for entertainment. She met the contestant Ryan Jenkins at a Las Vegas casino literally shortly after he was eliminated from Megan Wants a Millionaire.
He called me and told me he had met the love of his life in Vegas and that they were married. I was shocked because 3 days before he was telling me I was the love of his life.
2 days later, on March 18, 2019, they got married in a chapel. And the two of them before her untimely death, they had some DV documents in the courts. In June of 2009, Jenkins was charged with battery from DV from hitting her in her arm. They got into it over Ryan saying that she was kissing some man named Travis Henry, and he hit that girl in the arm, causing her to fall in a nearby swimming pool. He was gonna go on trial, but the pair reconciled before her death, and they were supposed to go to a poker game in San Diego. But Jasmine's mother stated the two of them fought frequently, and Jenkins would get into these jealous rages. Now this next stuff I'm about to talk about is real sensitive, so just tread lightly. And what I'm talking about, this is stuff that's going on as the show is airing. So it reported that they checked into a hotel on the evening of August 13, 2009. Like I stated, they were set to attend a poker tournament. And surveillance video captured the pairing leaving the Hilton about 2:30 a.m. on August 14th. The couple was then later seen at a nightclub down the street. At 4:30 a.m., Ryan Jenkins returned to the hotel alone, and the wife was not seen alive and said he left the hotel around about 9 o'clock p.m. that day. So the next day, on August 15 at 7 a.m., her body was discovered, but it was not identified. But oh, this is so gruesome. It was badly beaten and crushed inside a suitcase, found in a dumpster alley in California. And graphic details, her and were removed before stuffing her bare body in that suitcase. Oh my gosh. So Ryan, he reported her missing on August 15 at 8:55 a.m. He told the police the last time he saw Jasmine was at 8:30 p.m. He said that they had gone to San Diego for a poker event, and that after returning, she dropped him off that evening, left to do errands, and never returned. But they was calling BS. They was calling BS on his story. So he reported her missing on August 15. On August 16 at around 9 a.m., Ryan Jenkins was seen leaving a penthouse for the last time. So he dipped on August 16, 2009, and then he proceeded to go on like this whole manhunt, telling him he in Utah. But it wasn't until August 20th at around 6 o'clock p.m. he arrived in a silver PT Cruiser with a young blonde woman at a motel. And they said they pulled up beside the dumpster rather than beside the room, which they was like, oh, that's kind of strange. So he stayed in the car while she went in and paid for cash. I believe the woman turned out to be like his half sister. But they saw him trying to sneak around, and they said he looked like unrecognizable. He looked exhausted, nothing like what he was looking like on TV. At 11 a.m. August 23rd, they never checked out. So they went to look at the room, and that's where they found Ryan Jenkins' body, you know, unalive, but apparent as word. And yeah, it was like a whole crazy situation.
Maggie, there are many unanswered questions, and the more police uncover about this case, the more mysterious the murder of Jasmine Fiore becomes. Reality show contestant Ryan Jenkins was found hanging by a belt from a coat rack at the Thunderbird Motel in Hope, British Columbia on Sunday night. Hotel manager Kevin Walker was shocked when he found Jenkins' body. It was also a shock to Jenkins' father, who told the LA Times, quote, "If my son was guilty, he was crazy. He was not the boy we knew." He added that his son appears to have been corrupted by the Hollywood lifestyle. Police had been searching for the former real estate developer since his ex-wife Jasmine Fiore's body was found on August 15th. Investigators believe Jenkins and the mystery woman knew each other.
We have to determine if there was anyone else involved, if anyone helped with the crime.
Meanwhile, Jasmine Fiore's white Mercedes is still missing. Police say it could play a crucial role in helping them close the case. Joining us now for an exclusive interview is Donald Farmer, who was a contestant with Jenkins on another reality show that's been canceled, Megan Wants a Millionaire. And in Los Angeles, Stuart Brazel, the casting director who selected Jenkins to appear on reality TV. Let me begin with you, Donald. Jenkins' father has said that if he did this, it's because he was corrupted by Hollywood. Did you get any signs working with him on this reality show that he was somebody who was intoxicated by fame and came to crave the spotlight?
No, I really didn't get that sense at all. He seemed just like a very friendly, outgoing guy. There were some people in the house that were a little arrogant, a little rude, but Ryan was always, a complete gentleman. Ryan was, I thought, one of the nice guys.
Let me bring in Stuart. What was it about him that made you cast him, Stuart?
Well, Ryan
was just full of energy, louder than life, that would get the most attention in the room. He was someone that really fit perfectly for this type of show, especially a dating reality show. You knew he was gonna have fun and make for really good TV.
So once VH1 found out, they was like shocked.
Jenkins was set to appear in another VH1 reality show, I Love Money 3, but VH1 announced yesterday that it would be canceling that show.
This is literally a dude that we are showing every week on Megan Wants a Millionaire, and we already know he went and did I Love Money 3 and he won the season, in which they thought it was kind of strange because he kept trying to cash that money out early, and they was like, we can't give you the check until the season aired. But VH1 put Megan on a Millionaire on an indefinite hiatus, and Megan was hurt and shocked to say the least.
Like, this would be something that I would expect from him. He would be like the least likely person I would ever expect to do something like this.
Why is that? Why is that?
Just because he was so nice and, like, I don't know.
Did he
really bad.
Did he have a temper? Was he always always?
No, he was always really calm and, like, collected and very smooth.
Had you heard from him after around the time he met her or after he got married?
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore, but...
One other
VH1 also deleted the show off the page. They removed any episodes on iTunes and archived it. And it was pretty much like, yeah, it would never re-air. And whatever episodes are left to air, it's not going to be aired. It's revealed that he was charged 2 years earlier with assaulting another young woman, Ryan Jenkins. And that VH1 nor Megan Wants a Billionaire of 51 Minds was noted of that. They said had they known about this incident, they would never allow him on the show.
In 2007, he had been convicted of assaulting a girlfriend. Did you know that? Do you look into the background of these contestants before you book them? My job as the casting team for a show like this, I'm a freelance casting director, we have nothing to do with the background checks. Now, I assume because I've been on a reality show myself, and I know they did do a background check on me, my assumption would be that there was a natural vetting process in order, but I'm not speaking as a representative for the show.
And because of that, they lost out on some money. They had to reimburse 51 Minds the $12 million for all of that. That incident had a strong effect on reality TV. I don't think y'all understand, but that situation alone literally canceled like all of those unloved shows like Real Chance to Love, Megan Wants a Million, Daisy Want Love, in talks for maybe a 4th installment of Flavor of Love, which wasn't needed. Whatever spin-off and stuff they was considering, that situation ruined all of that.
I Love New York. You got New York Goes to Hollywood, New York Goes to Work. Like, you were getting all of these spin-offs, and then all of a sudden, like, that kind of era just ended. What happened to New York? Where did she go?
The tragedy that transpired was totally out of my control. And I don't want to brush on it too much because people lost their lives, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I had 2 shows in the green, meaning literally I was about to shoot I Love New York 3, and I was about to shoot New York Goes to Work Part 2. And because of that, you know, we had to stop doing the shows that we had planned, and all that stuff kind of went into hiatus.
First of all, it's true that there was a contestant, I think, on I Love Money, and he actually chopped his girl's off.
Yeah.
He had to identify her by her breast implants, and that was crazy. Then you had the other situations, but I think basically what had happened was the breakdown of 51 Minds because they separated. It was like Chris Abrego, which we know now is the head of Endemol of North America, and Mark Cronin, he does Below Deck. So that basically was the split, and I think that's why you probably won't ever see anything that was formed under that company come back together.
The cast and producer for Megan Want a Millionaire, his name is Christopher. He now is senior cast and producer for Big Brother, but he said he remember when they was interviewing Jenkins, something fell off with him, and that if he can go back, he would listen to his gut feeling and not cast him. And to this day, VH1 stood on that. Like, we never saw any, like, a glimmer of anything about what I Love Money 3 could have been.
Now, these are some pictures that was leaked up on the internet. These are probably all you're gonna see of I Love Money 3. This is probably this is the closest you would get. This photo right here, this is the only time you'll see that logo of I Love Money 3. Other than that, it's everything else is gone. Now, Cocktail, who was from that season I Love Money 3, and she's from For the Love of Ray J, she was in the final 3. It was Ryan, Cocktail, and Bubbles, okay? Now, Ryan won, but she allegedly, she said that there is a trailer and an episode made, and she has seen it. What I would Oh my God. If that's true and it's somewhere on the internet, what I would give to just see a glimmer of that. Like, I understand none of the other episodes are done because it got kills in post-production, but man, what I would do if that's true.
Now, they did try to come back for a season 4, but season 4 just was not. First of all, they waited too late. It was like a year and a half later in September 2010 when they tried to do another season. And the storyline arc just didn't make sense. Like, it was some people on there from Megan Wants a Millionaire who had beef, but because we never saw the duration of Megan 1 Millionaire, we just didn't understand. It felt kind of cheaper, and the vibe just was off. Like, knowing what we know about season 3, it just felt off, and it just didn't do what it needed to do. So they end up having to cancel it. You want to know why VH1 had to shift gears, and then they started going into more like the love and hip hop route? Yeah, this situation right here, it ruined everything. And I feel like they really thought this was gonna be like their gold mine. I feel like they really thought like this was gonna be like something that took off, and I believe it is, but it's always gonna be one of the greatest mystery what ifs in reality TV. What if that situation never happened and we did see the rest of Megan Want a Millionaire and we did see I Love Money 3? What could have happened? Who knows the spin-offs, or who knows the memes or reaction we could have got from that, but we never will know. Now, Lacey, shout out to Lacey, because Lacey did at one point, she had that podcast where she was talking to all of the OG reality contestants, and some of them did get together and talk about like their experience filming. They didn't talk about the situation out of respect, but they kind of just gave like stuff like where it's like, man, I wish this would have aired because this would have been so good.
So I do want to add some key notes because Megan was a guest on the Talk of Love podcast, and basically what she stated, like she stated earlier in the video, she couldn't choose Ryan in the final 3 on Megan Wants a Millionaire because the producers, they didn't tell her she couldn't, but they just easily persuaded her to not pick him. And she said at that ceremony, both of them was crying because he felt like he had been played this whole time. And she was just thinking, okay, in 3 days, I'm going to give him a call because I only got 3 more days to film. In 3 days, I'm going to give him a call and I'm going to tell him everything, like why I couldn't pick him, and let's like set something up. And she said within them 3 days, he would be calling her, but she just didn't pick up because she's like, what could happen in 3 days? On that 3rd day, that's when he called her and was like, I met the love of my life, the Jasmine girl, and, you know, we're married. So she was like, at this point, well, I'm not explaining nothing to you because I thought I was the love of your life. But they still had a close contact. They still, you know, was in each other's lives. And she also stated that, like, she was one of the ones that convinced him to go on I Love Money 3. But he started to become so paranoid. She said that it got to a point where he was like, oh, did VH1 send you, like, are you a producer plant sent here to try to convince me to go on I Love Money 3? And she said he started not to be even a shell of himself. Like, he started to just be like paranoid. And since Lacey filmed with him for a month on I Love Money 3, she said that he was very like determined and obsessed in a way to get this money. And they say on I Love Money 3, he was a powerhouse. He was very dominant in the challenge, so he was winning back to back, but he was also very strategic. But she said like all he would do was talk about his wife, and by this time they was only married for a couple of weeks. So he kept saying like, you know, she used to be so nice to me, but now she's mean to me, and all I gotta do is just get this money because I haven't been able to meet her in a financial way, but if I win this money, it's gonna help our relationship. But she's just thinking like, you know, well, y'all only been married for a couple of weeks. Like how, you know, it shouldn't even be at a bad point. But Ryan had told Lacey, and this is from her mouth, that he wanted, after the show was over, Jasmine loves to go horseback riding, and she had horses. So she was like, okay, well, you know, let's set something up. So Ryan was like, okay, they exchanged numbers and stuff like that. And Lacey said the day they was supposed to come and do the horses, she texted him. She's like, hey, y'all still coming? And he said, let's do a rain check. She can't make it today. Lacey said she then found out by that point he had already unalived her. So she was like, dang, that was very chilling. And he was still texting her, talking about something like, you know, let's do another day. But the whole time, like, she had already been unalive. Just some crazy details. I highly recommend checking out that episode to see more details, but yeah.
As promised, I'm going to go ahead and dish out a few extra details on the show. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and just dive right in. I'm going to be touching base on the 4 topics that everyone seems to be asking about. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start out by talking about the Cashmere and Delicious situation. Kind of weird for me though, because I genuinely do like both of these women. I will confirm that yes, there was an altercation that happened between Delicious and Cashmere. It did end up sending Delicious home. I don't remember the specific details on what happened between the two of them, and honestly it was so long ago that they probably don't even remember either.
But it's really up to them if they decide they want to share that stuff with everybody at some point in time down the line, if they even remember it. After things had transpired between the two of them, the producers had gotten Delicious back into the bedroom, and I think it was me, Lacey, and Shay. We thought that she was calm. So she had actually asked for a moment alone in the bathroom by herself, just to kind of compose herself, whatever. Before we know it, this woman's climbing out the bathroom window. So I'm looking at her hanging out of this bathroom window, and part of me kind of wanted to see if she'd be able to fit through or not, because, you know, she has some curves to her, but she was determined. And I was like, wow, this girl's gonna make it through the window. But we ended up pulling her back in. Like I mentioned before, I like Cashmere and I like Delicious. Nobody wanted to see Delicious go home, and I didn't want to see Cashmere get hurt, so we definitely put an end to that fast. But I just thought it was, you know, one of the more lighter moments about that situation, and obviously it would have made for some interesting footage to see back, that's for sure. Okay. I hate to be the one to burst your bubble, but the answer to that is no. There's no episodes, there's no trailer, there's no teaser, there's no first episode, second episode, nothing. It is just hours upon hours of random footage of us in the house and the challenges and all of that stuff. Right after the situation happened, after we got done filming, they put a complete stop to all production. All of us cast members did have a hard time with it at first, just like you guys all did. But we have kind of just learned throughout time to accept it. It kind of is what it is at this point. And we just have to, all of us, cast members, including you guys, just kind of respect the decisions behind why the footage didn't come out. I can't be one to say, will it ever come out in the future, you know, years down the line, any of that stuff. We don't know. Us as cast members know pretty much as you guys do, as far as the releasing of the stuff down the line. All we do know for sure at this point in time is there's no footage, no episodes, nothing to be seen, nothing has been edited. So as of right now, no.
Man, I wish this would have aired because it would have been so good. Oh, I wish I could have saw this season. I said I wasn't gonna cry. I ain't gonna lie, like that really, it really affected me. Like, I've been trying to keep it cool this whole video, but the inner child in me, I was sick. But what do you guys think, for the people who love I Love Money and that whole reality TV era, do you miss that era of reality TV? Because I feel like we are reaching a downfall of reality TV, which that's another video for another day. But I feel like that era, it was just a little bit more genuine, a little bit more real. It wasn't just looking for a fight moment. It was very poetic, to make sense. So for the people who love I Love Money, did you enjoy this little nostalgic trip? Did you enjoy this cool down memory lane? And for the people who never seen it, did you learn something? And are you shocked by the outcome? Put all that stuff in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
And before you leave, for a little bit of nostalgia, here's some I Love Money 3 pictures, exclusive, that I was able to find searching the internet. Okay, enjoy.